Hello, 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 welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I am hoping you guys can see me all right. So, thank you so much for joining. Please put in the comments where you're tuning in from. And I'm gonna hope that the comments are gonna show. So today I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of human design. I know I said, in September we're gonna start human design training. I'm gonna do a little bit of an overview of what it is because I know there's been a little bit of buzz everywhere around it, and also there's been a lot of curiosity, and I just wanted to kind of go over like the main things about human design, which is just very basic things. And then as the month progresses, I'm also gonna be doing some charts and going over some charts. And if anybody would like to share their chart or to go over the chart with, let me know in the comments or private message me, and we can do that. And then we can do actually a live reading if you want to do that. That would be awesome. So, again, thank you so much for joining. My name is Patricia Diadone, and I'm a life coach. And so basically, I coach women, and I use human design as one of the tools in my coaching to help women get their clarity, find their purpose, and help them through transitioning a lot of times when from one career to another, or basically when you have been a mom for a while and you kind of trying to get back into maybe starting a business or a career, and you're just kind of stuck off where you are. So I found human design, actually, just a background about my own story. So my background is actually in real estate. I used to do sales for a while. And then I had cancer. And while I was going through the cancer healing, and I kind of started rethinking my whole life. I started rethinking, like, well, what would I like to do? What is really my purpose in this life? What is really my passion? What do I really like, right? And so I started kind of learning about different modalities, and human design is one of them that I learned about. And it really clicked so much for me because it's different than kind of like your zodiac sign or astrology that kind of goes very broad. This is really based on you, right? Human design is based on you, on your type, because it is based on the day that you were born, the time you were born, and also the place where you were born. And it combines so many different things. So we're going to go into that. And again, there's also so many different things to human design. It's not only like, oh, okay, well, this is where you were born, this is what kind of you are, but and it's not only, okay, this is the type that you are and this is the strategy that you have to use, but it just really helps you kind of pinpoint really your strengths, your weaknesses, and things that maybe could be improved upon, right? And things that, okay, if this is your strength, well, then let's amplify it, let's use that, and let's really use it to create an impact, because that's in the end what we want to do, right? Okay, so let's go on to, I hope you guys can see my slides. So this is basically the overview what I'm going to be talking about today. So I'm going to talk about basically the intro of what human design is, the chart, like what the chart looks like, the different types, and the strategies. So what is human design? This is the question that I get asked a lot. Well, what is it, right? Is it like my zodiac sign? It's like, I'm, let's say, whatever it is. I'm a Libra, I'm a Capricorn, what is it? And I'll tell you, like, no, it's not. It's not your zodiac sign. It does have some zodiac sign components with it, but that's not what it is. So, again, the human design system is a combination of different principles. It combines astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, and the chakras. And it basically creates a personalized map of your uniqueness. It is really a personalized map. And everybody that I have done readings with, basically, once we have done the readings, they were just amazed, like, wow, like, this is so me, and this is so me. This is something that I do all the time. And it's like, it's really an eye opener. So it's really fun to see, because again, it's not just one thing, it's not a very broad thing, it is really so unique, and there's just so many aspects to it. So here are the different design types, right? So basically, this is how like the chart looks like. And so there's different types. So there's the manifester. So this is a manifester. Usually, hold on, did I skip some slides? No, okay. Okay, so the manifester, let me see. So there's the manifest. I'm gonna go real quick. The manifesting generator, the projector, and the reflector. So let me go back to the manifester. So the manifester, as you can see, they usually have the throat defined, which is over here, like the throat chakra. And it's just because, you know, the manifestors are those individuals that they're just here to basically speak that message. They get those downloads, they get those ideas. Those are your idea individuals, right? They'll have ideas. I like to give an orchestra analogy, which one of my mentors taught me. And I thought that was so wonderful because that kind of gives you the idea of really what human design is. So a manifestor, when you're thinking about an orchestra or a play, something like that, the manifestors are the individuals that actually have the idea. I want to do a concert in Carnegie Hall, for example, right? That's the idea, people. That those are the ones that they have those ideas and they just want to do so many different things. They just because they just get all those downloads. They just get those different downloads and they get ideas to them. That's their job and that's their purpose in life, right? To have those ideas. So they're not here to kind of execute it, but they're here to have the ideas. They're here to bring the ideas to life, right? Like those are your artists. Those are your Steve Jobs, right? Those that have the ideas of, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm not sure how, but that's really not really my job. But this is the idea that I want to do, right? This is what I want to accomplish. And then you have the manifesting generators. The manifesting generators are kind of a breakup of the manifestors because they have the generator component. So I'm actually gonna jump into the generators. So the generators, if you think about the orchestra, generators are the players. Generators are all of the players in the orchestra, right? That you would see at a play or not. Those are your violin players, your trumpet players, your drum players, basically the whole orchestra. And what makes a generator is because they have, if you see and that red in the middle, that circle, that's like the root center. That's actually it's a sacral center. The sacral center, it is a motor center, so it gives them that energy. And a generator, another way that basically I also classify generators are really a generator. If you think about a generator, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with generators. I mean, I'm in Florida, so we talk about generators a lot, not the individuals, the actual generators. A generator, right? A generator has a lot of energy. Generators are the doers, are the ones that basically are gonna get the things done. Those are your hustlers. They're just gonna go out there, do it. You need a kitchen remodel, they're there ripping up the cabinets, painting the house, and putting up the cabinets back up, right? Those are the ones that, and they have so much energy. They don't run out of energy until they burn out, right? Like a generator. Think about it. If you have the actual generator, you plug it into the wall, it runs until it runs out of gasoline. Once it runs out of gasoline, it runs out, right? So that's when the energy runs out. So basically, those are your generators. And again, the manifesting generators, the beautiful thing about the manifesting generators is because it combines it, right? It combines kind of like the idea that, oh my God, I want to have the concert in Carnegie Hall, but then it also connects the generator aspect, which is the actual execution of it, which is actually the thing of like, you know what, let me, I'm gonna actually be the player that is gonna play in the musical. So that's the beautiful thing about the generators, right? So next up, we have the projectors, and the projectors are basically kind of like the maestro or the conductor of the orchestra. So they're here to guide the orchestra, to tell them, okay, now the violins play, now the drums play, now the trumpets play. Because if you don't have somebody, orchestrating the orchestra, everybody's gonna play at once and then it's gonna sound like a disaster. So what happens is like the projectors are here to really guide the orchestra, guide the players. Okay, now you play a little bit louder, a little bit lower, so that it creates this beautiful symphony, right? And the projectors, they do not have a motor center defined, which is the sacral. The sacral is one of the motor centers, but they don't have that defined. So what happens is like they do not have the energy that a projector has, for example. So projector actually and the manifester, if I'm gonna go back to the manifestors, they also don't have a motor center defined. So what happens is like they don't have that energy, right? So let me go back to the projector. So the projectors, they have there's different types, obviously, in all of the types also, because there's also the authority. But as far as the projectors, and as far as the motor center, they basically have to work on really, guiding. That's what they're here for, educating. And then also they have to preserve the energy. And it's not about like, okay, well, I'm just gonna lay on the couch and do nothing, because that's not what a projector is meant to do. But it's just meant to know where to use your energy, and maybe which aspect is your energy not well used for, so that basically you don't run out of your energy. And then you have the reflectors. So the reflectors is the audience. The reflectors are the ones, as you can see, they don't have anything defined. And what I mean is by defined is that they don't have any, everything is blank. Basically, there's no colors in any of the squares or triangles, right? So the reflectors is the audience. The reflectors are the ones that just sit and enjoy the beautiful music. They're just there to kind of enjoy the music, and the music is what actually stimulates them, because they just take in all this energy and they basically just project it, kind of like a mirror, right? That's why it's called a reflector, because they kind of project that onto the orchestra, onto the maestro, onto the person that had the ideas. And that is basically the job of the reflector, right? Just to kind of reflect those beautiful ideas, the beautiful music, all this beautiful orchestra back onto the individuals, so that the individuals actually can see themselves. So it's beautiful. It's just such a beautiful analogy, because if you think about it, without the audience, you don't have a play, right? Without the conductor, you don't have it either. Without the orchestra, you don't have it either. And without the person that actually thought about the idea of putting up the play, you don't have that either, right? None of the components. So that's the beautiful thing is about human design. Everything works combined. Everything is interrelated, because they all work in symphony and in synchrony together. And what happens is a lot of times when they don't, is because, like there's things that are off, and that's when the problems arise. So the beautiful thing is, again, about the human design system is it really shows you that everybody has a role in it. Everybody has a role, and everybody has something that they're contributing in order to make everything perfectly work. So now let's talk about the strategy. So again, those are the different types, and we're going to go into each one of them separately. But just so you can see, so again, the strategies, the manifestor, which I'm going to go in again. So let's go into the manifestor. So the manifestor strategy is to initiate and to inform. Again, that's a person that is having the idea, I want to put up a play, or let's create a movie, or I don't know, hey, let's start a business, right? Let's do this, or let's open up a shop. So that's the person that has the idea, hey, let's open up a shop, or let's start a business, whatever it is. They're the ones that have the idea. So they're here to initiate and to inform. So they're gonna come to you and be like, hey, you know what? Let's start a business. I've always wanted to have, I don't know, let's say let's do a fitness center, right? Let's open up a fitness center. Let's open up a fitness business, right? So they're gonna have that idea because they get those ideas and they just need to inform somebody, right? So they come and they inform you, be like, hey, you want to start a business with me? Let's start a business. So then you have the generators and the manifesting generators. So the manifesting generators and the generators, they have to, their strategy is to wait to respond and then to inform. And a lot of times when I coach individuals, and especially when they're manifesting generators or generators, a lot of times I find them they usually come to me because they're overwhelmed, they're stressed out, they're usually juggling too many things at once, because a generator will want to say yes to everything because they have that drive, they have that energy, like they can go, work 18 hours a day and they will not, they'll be a little bit tired but they'll still keep going. So what happens is, like, a friend tells them, hey, let's start a fitness business. They're like, yes, let's do it, I love fitness, right? Oh, but okay, hey, you know what, but I need a job. Okay, so then they'll have their job, and then somebody's like, hey, you know what, can you help me, I don't know, move, can you help me pack? Yes, okay, I'll help you pack. Oh, you know what, I need help, maybe getting some groceries. Yes, let me help. So they're basically doing 8,000 things at once because they feel like they have that energy. But the thing is, they have to wait to respond. And the beautiful thing is about the waiting to respond is to really learn when to respond, when it's time to respond and to inform. Because not every invitation that they get, not every thing that is thrown at them is the right thing to take on. So that's why the generator and the manifesting generator just have to wait to respond and to inform. So now let's go on the projector. The projectors. So the projectors, again, because they're the guides, or they're the ones that are supposed to lead the individuals and just really give their wisdom, because they have that innate wisdom in them. They're supposed to wait for the invitation. Obviously, we don't live in a show where everything is perfect and you can just sit in your bed and sit on the couch and do nothing, and then somebody's going to come knock on your door and be like, hey, you know what, I need help with this, can you help with it, with this? Right? That doesn't happen like that. So waiting for the invitation does not mean, oh, let me just sit and let me not do anything because people are going to come knock on my door because I'm a projector. No, you just need to also learn what is the right invitation, because not every invitation is the correct one. So you just have to wait for the correct invitation to respond to the correct invitation. Because if you respond to the wrong invitation, it's just going to drain the projector's energy. It's just going to, and they're going to know that they responded to the wrong invitation. And see, the beautiful thing is about the projectors is, well, kind of, let me say, the tricky thing about being a projector is that, again, because you have to, it's not that you're waiting. There's so many different aspects to the waiting part, and I think that's what is the biggest confusion as far as when it comes to human design, is because you told you have to wait, but it's just really the I would say maybe the anxiety of okay, well, how long do I have to wait, right? So basically it's just really learning to hone in yourself and to really find basically the peace and the alignment within yourself, because when you're aligned, you're gonna get invitations left and right, so you don't need to worry about that. So now let's talk about the reflectors. So the reflectors, again, because they're not connected to any motor center, meaning any energy center, they have to wait to be invited and initiated. So as I said before, think about it as the audience in the orchestra, right? They're sitting there and then music is initiating them. That those energies, those feelings, them listening to basically to the music, to all this stuff, that is what initiating it, right? So basically they're invited, hey, let's start a business together, right? Let's do fitness. I love fitness. Okay, great, let's do fitness. Okay, but then again, they're here to kind of mirror whatever the other person is projecting, and waiting for that invitation to initiate. So they're not supposed to be like, okay, yeah, let's go get going, let me get this. No, their job is to really kind of wait to see what initiates them, what really is aligned for them, what really speaks to them. Because again, maybe, yes, let's start a fitness business, but maybe they're not going to be the ones hauling all the fitness gear into the place. Their job might be something else. Their job might be actually, hey, I'm initiated by working with people. That is really what I love. So maybe they'll be actually the ones maybe doing the sales for the fitness business or whatever it is, right? So it's really just kind of finding your magic as the reflector. Because again, the reflectors, the trickiness is, again, yes, we have to wait, we have to be initiated, but again, anything initiates us. And see, and the thing is, because the reflectors, see, all the other types, there a lot of times they have defined this, they have defined this, they have that. So the reflect is really because they don't have anything defined, meaning nothing is colored in, because they really act sort of like a mirror. They really have to be careful with where and what and how they spend their energy, because they might think this is the right thing for me. But the thing is, if they don't know themselves and they're not able to figure out, okay, this is really what is in alignment with me, with what really works with me, because they don't have any of the defined centers. Again, all of them are white. Um, they might actually think, because let's say maybe a manifesto might be basically projecting, let's say, I don't know, their ideas to them, that basically all those ideas are theirs, when it's actually not. And so basically then they might think like, okay, yes, they have to be running with this and doing this and figuring all this out, and in the end they become frustrated and they become basically burned out, because those ideas are not really theirs, right? But they think they are. So there's a lot of trickiness to all the human design types. It's not just the ones that really don't have, let's say, like the generators that don't have basically all the motor centers, all the projectors, the reflectors, and it's also the manifestors and the generators. Again, each type has their sort of their how can I put it, it's their, maybe not well, it's their kind of like frustration, but it's also their thing to figure out their idea, to see, okay, what is really in alignment with me and what is really not in alignment with me. So let's talk about, I want to leave you guys with some thought points. I want to know in the comments, what is something that really stood out to you when I was going over the different types. What really stood out to you? Is there something that when I was talking about it, maybe you're like, oh my God, this is something that I can relate to? What are some areas that maybe we're aligned or not aligned? What are some things that you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm this type or maybe I'm that type, but no, I'm definitely not that type and I'm definitely not that type, right? I would like to know, where are you basically also where start paying attention to maybe your strategy, right? Where what is something that you, maybe are you somebody that jumps a lot to, okay, somebody says something and you're like, yes, let's do this or let's do that, right? Are you maybe that generator that is like, yes, 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 everything, yes, whatever you tell me, yes, and then maybe in the end you're like, oh my goodness, I don't want to do this is too much, right? Maybe are you the manifestor that is just having a million ideas, but you just can't finish any of them because you just have a million ideas, right? Or maybe you're just a projector where you're just getting frustrated because you're just waiting for the invitation, but all the invitations that are coming are just the wrong ones. Or maybe are you the reflector that thinks that, what, everything, like I mean, I'm like this when I'm with this person, I'm like this when I'm with that person. I'm like a chameleon. And so really think about it. I'd love to again know what are the things that sort of stood out to you, and what feels aligned and what does not feel aligned. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if there's any questions that are coming up, and if not, you can always put questions in the comments below, and I'll come and answer them. And if you are joining us now and you have missed the training, come back and watch it, because again, I was going over the basics of all the different types. So I'm just gonna put them up here so you guys can see. And also what I'm gonna do is I will come in and do actually like a mini training on just the manifestors, on just the generators, on just the projectors, and on just the reflectors, so that you guys can learn a little bit about each, and also learn maybe what is really that speaks to you. And if you are looking to if you want to get your actual chart, and to find out really what it is that I am, let me know, and I will guide you to the place where you can get your chart. It's completely free. And also, if you actually are ready to dive deeper, and you know what, you're like, you know what, I need to know what my human design strategy is, because I just need to know. Everything sounds like me, and I'm not sure. Let me also know. And what we'll do is I offer actually a human design reading, and there's two choices. I can do either one over Zoom live with you, or just a video one where you basically give me all your information, and I'll do a video overview for you, and I'll just email it out to you. So there's two different ones, and I'll put the link also in the comments. So if anybody wants, you can feel free to book that, and I'll be more than happy to chat with you about it. But again, thank you so much for watching, and go back to the training and see all the different types so you guys can see. And again, if you have any questions, put in the comments. I'll come back and answer any comments and any questions that you guys might have. So in the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'll look forward to doing this again. Thank you.